and we've already lost one of our party members.
Well, it was a good run.
Just from the audacity of Cookie Dough.
Strong
Why
start.
do we do this to the cookie? Imagine.
Cookie flavored scrambled eggs is a discussion we were just having.
Can you blame me though?
No, I cannot.
We welcome to Murder in the Haunted Manor. And we are going to start off this mini-series with some character introductions. Ren, since you're the offender in this instance, how about you start?
Despite being a heinous creator of cookie dough and an affront to cuisine everywhere, my character is no such thing. He is an animal doctor. He's just a little guy. He's a little snaky guy. He's got pale white scales with some green freckling all over it. He's got a really cute tail that is an absolute hazard. Like, this poor dude has no idea what to do with his tail, so it's constantly gonna be like knocking into stuff, like knocking into things, tripping over it. This dude has no sense of balance, despite having a tail. Might be a problem. Yeah, he's here probably I don't know if we need to get into why we're here, or we're just doing basic.
We can just do basic for now, and then, you guys can talk in character.
He's got little spectacles on the tip of his snoot, and he's a real good boy. That's the employer field.
Alright, next up we'll go to Atlas.
No clue what to say.
Just tell us a bit about your character.
Okay, so my character's named Andromeda. She likes educating people and teaching people about stuff. She gets really distracted really easily because, squirrel brain. I don't really know what else.
What does she look like?
What? Oh, she has like magenta-ish hair with some blue highlights in it, and she's got really pale skin with like brownish, yellowish eyes.
Alright, very nice. And last but certainly not least for now, Disciple!
Hello. My name is Disciple. I'm playing Obi-Loon. No relation. He is a fairly average height human-looking man with long black hair, wears robes, doesn't seem to carry any armor, but he is very well built. And he is a follower of a certain order of people who believe that everything is infused with a mystical energy source that they have learned to tap into, and it gives them superhuman abilities and stuff, and they work as peacekeepers throughout the land.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now to set the scene. This group here, as well as the two others that will be joining us shortly, all responded to a hiring call for adventurers. This gentleman had sent out a notice requesting assistance in the investigation and cleansing of a manor. Now, upon going to this manor, he lets you in, and it is a fairly large manor, mostly made of a mix of wood and stone. Just in the entryway, you can see that there's benches set out for people to be able to rest even in the entryway. It opens up into a very lavish dining hall, which has food made and waiting upon it. He instructs you. Exnar is the one who hired you. A fairly normal looking older human man. Hair swept back into a bun, mostly black with bits of gray in the middle. He explains that you are to locate any traps or creatures within the manor, dispose of them, and essentially make this ready for someone to be able to move in. And with the reminder of those instructions, he will exit the door and closes it behind him. It is somewhat. It is somewhat lit within here. Only one torch in the entryway is lit, and two at the far end of the dining hall. There is a brief gust from nowhere that puts those little bit of torches, that little bit of light out. There's a thud, a grunt, and a scream. Another gust, and the torches are lit once more. But one of the people who came with you is lying on the floor. A pool of blood slowly surrounding him. What do you do?
I like to look to see if there's anything else in the room that wasn't there before.
Okay, go ahead and roll in investigation.
That'd be unnatural 20.
Very nice! First roll of the mini-series, alright. You look around carefully, and while there's nothing strange in the entryway per se that wasn't there, you do notice that there's just the slightest bit of steam, almost, coming off of a portion of the man's clothes.
Rush over to the man and try to very carefully reach down, touch his neck to see if I can still feel any kind of pulse or the sense of life.
You reach down, and his skin is startlingly cold already. There's no pulse.
I think, like, the first thing Liam does is even when the lights go out, there's like, oh my goodness, and then when they come back on, there's a body. It's like, oh my goodness. And he's like already like the torches are back on, but he's already slapped his lantern with the light cantrip. He's like, oh, this is terrible. Do we have a doctor? Oh no. And he's like waddling over to also help inspect this poor body.
Okay.
It may be too late for a doctor.
What is Andromeda doing?
Looking at the body in disgust.
Just another day for Andromeda. Alright. Then, Ren, I will allow you to roll an investigation with advantage since you're doing this with Disciple on the body.
Would it be medicine or investigation?
Well, are you trying to help the man, or are you trying to find out what happened?
I help the man, sorry.
Okay,
Is that...
that would be medicine then.
Yee. Like, sure, the person feels ice cold, but, you know, Maybe. It's a 16.
You are fairly used to, just basic first aid, being able to assist someone right when they're knocked down, but there's no helping this gentleman.
Oh
As
yeah, you're
you're
right. They're super dead.
as you attempt to do so, um, you do find part of something emblazoned on his chest underneath the shirt.
Kind of like tug it down and have a look at like what this is.
You open up the shirt more and you look and you see a very large symbol is emblazoned upon his chest suddenly.
The brand.
Yes, like he's been branded.
Do I recognize the spooky symbol?
You can roll a history check.
Oh, I will do that with a 10.
Doesn't ring a bell?
That's not helpful.
Who was this party member to us? Did they have a certain role that they were?
Based on what you discussed, this particular party member was good at getting answers out of dead things.
Oh,
So it appears that our medium has been silenced.
Do you have any belongings on them?
Nope. I'll start checking for belongings.
Alright, go ahead and roll investigation with advantage.
Hey. Oh,
Just roll twice. Yeah.
the answer is 16.
Alright. Uh, you look around to what he's carrying. There is a singular, like the only weapon he has is a singular blade that looks somewhat strange and has stuff carved into it. His other belongings include his tome and his pouch of coins.
Well, there is this. He holds up the tome. This might have some notes. Perhaps we can verify. I'm not sure what it's written in. He'll open it up, the tome, see what it's written in.
Alright. And what languages can you read?
I can read Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Court.
Okay. Um, it double checking to roll trace. No, it does not look familiar to you.
What I can read.
What languages can you read?
Um, I will say Celestial, Uncommon, Elvish, Common, and Court.
Nope, it is not familiar to you either. Can anyone read Gnomish?
nope. I brought Draconic to the table.
Alright. So,
I
this
can
is.
read Gnomish.
Hey,
Hey!
our gnome friend is here. Hello.
Welcome in, Darwin. And as you chime in mentioning that you can read this, why don't you tell us what your character looks like? What are we seeing?
So you know, like that Travelocity gnome? It's basically him, but like he looks more like an adventurer with like a black cap instead of a red one. He's got uh he's got a beard that has brown and white stripes in it, and he has a cane with him and a snake named Snakey. It is his pet.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Wow,
Cool.
besties confirmed.
And Darwin, as you approach to read it, you see that these mostly seem to be various kinds of spells, magical components. Just, it seems like it was most likely his casting tome.
Ooh.
Thank you for the follow. We keep follows here anonymous because not everyone likes to be called out, but everyone likes to be included. Thank you for joining the family. Continue.
Well, anything?
No.
Hmm? Oh, someone mentioned about Roll20 in the chat. Do I have to set that up?
No, don't worry about roll 20.
Ignore that. That
This
was
is
me
D&D
being.
Beyond.
That was me being beyond.
Oh,
Don't worry
okay.
about it.
So that's what you're able to ascertain when you read it, Darwin.
Okay. Um, Sorry, I didn't really catch who's the other people in the group.
So, Disciple, go ahead.
We have Obi Link, who is a human-looking man who wears robes, carries very little weaponry, just maybe some tactical stuff on him, and he is a Kalistar, monk paladin of Earthblaze.
Then we have Ren.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm playing Liam Cloverfield, who is an animal doctor, both in that he is a snake and he's a veterinarian. He's got a shovel and a lantern that is currently lit with the light cantrip spell. He's looking spooked, a little scared. Uh, he's got little spectacles on his snoot.
And Atlas with Andromeda.
Hey, Andromeda. She's kind of short, kind of tall. She has light magenta with very blue highlights. She has leather armor. She's kind of the specter of Liam.
So you're all caught up, Darwin.
Thank you.
Am I able to, not ritual, but just straight cast detect magic to get an idea of, like, are we in any immediate danger?
Sure. What's the range on Detect Magic?
That's a really good
I
question.
believe it's 30 feet.
And it's, like, centered on me for my
Yes.
concentration time.
At this point in time, you can tell that the torches are magical. The tome that Geralt was carrying with him was magical. Um, and some of you have magical items upon you. I noticed Disciple perked up at that.
No, I just froze because I realized I never brought my magic items. I have nothing.
You can do that now if you would like.
Oh, nope, we're going with it. Oh, D&D hardcore mode. Let's go.
Is there anything specific about the torches that stands out?
They, other than that, they briefly went out and then back on at the same time. There's nothing unordinary about them. The flame is its usual color you would expect a fire to be. There's nothing around the torches.
We're still in the main.
The entryway, which leads into the dining hall. And you can
Uh,
see that there is prepared food on the table.
uh, Obi will kind of stand up. He'll take a minute to kind of walk to the door, the archway that leads into the dining hall. He'll stand there for a second. He'll close his eyes, and he will reach out, connecting himself to the essence that permeates all things, and he will seek about to see if he can locate any celestial, human, undead within 60 feet, or whether or not a location is hallowed or unhallowed.
And can you define hallowed for the audience? So, as far as you are able to tell, there are no fiends within 60 feet of you, no fae, nothing of that like. This does not seem to be under the effect of the hallowed spell. But there is definitely something unsettling. I will give you that much.
He'll come out of that, turn to the group, and go, "Well, this is very odd. There is something here that I cannot. It hides from my senses. Shall we look around, at the very least? I don't think anyone is feeling heck. Are they?" And he will gesture to the food on the dining table.
Well, so hot we can eat that.
As you gesture at the table is when you notice the mark upon your hand.
Ah, well, that's not good.
What's that on your hand? And Liam like points, and I'm assuming there's more
Yeah.
blood. Oh no! Oh, it's happening. What is it? What does it look like? Does it match the chest thing?
It does.
Oh no! This is the opposite of what I wanted.
I don't think any of us are getting what we want tonight. Is everyone else similarly marked? And he will hold up his hand.
I look at Tommy and Tim.
Likewise, I look at my hand as well.
And
What
you
does the mark look like exactly? Sorry.
it is a series there's a circle with a series of small symbols in it, as well as some larger ones within the center of the circle.
Is it kind of messy or clear?
It's very organized. Like think like the if you've seen Black Butler, like the kind of crap that you saw in like his eye and everything.
Am I familiar with this symbol?
You can roll a history check.
Cool. That is a 15.
It seems vaguely familiar, something that you touched upon maybe once in your schooling. Something that maybe wasn't talked about often for a reason.
So it's familiar, but it's something I've forgotten completely.
Mm-hmm.
Is it also
He,
branded into our hand?
No, it is just like it looks like someone painted on you, but you go to wipe it off and it doesn't come off.
Okay.
As you guys are looking at the symbols upon your hand and trying to figure things out, you can hear a thud from another room.
what was that?
I try to investigate. Again, this sounds like another room.
What is your passive perception, Andromeda?
Where would that be?
Um, that should be on the main, like, first page of your,
Oh, it says senses.
okay. Uh, it sounded like something something large falling over. And it's not in the dining hall, it was on the other side of the wall. You heard it in the other room.
Is there a door leading to that room?
At into the dining hall, there is a door on that wall. It's currently shut.
Would you like to investigate?
Ultimately,
Yes,
yes.
please.
Very well. Those of you with sight, please below, because I am particularly blind in these matters.
Oh, but Liam's got his little lantern lit because he can see in the dark, but he just doesn't like it. So he's got his little lantern lit.
Wonderful. He can go first.
Oh gosh. I start holding it up to his chest, just waddling into the dining hall, looking, just do a peek in there first, adjusting his glasses.
You see um, the feast that's prepared on the table. You can smell it as well. It is there's like roast turkey. There is mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Like there's a huge feast upon of heavy foods.
Oh, those look lovely. And I keep going to the door.
Do you open the door?
I want to listen at it first and detect. It hasn't been 10 minutes, but I imagine it'll run out any second. Is there any magic popping up yet?
Um, there's something under the enlarged spell on the other side of the door. But that's about all you can tell before it ends.
There it goes. Like, huh. Who's casted spells willy-nilly in here? We're supposed to clear this place out. Someone cast an enlarged something over there. I'll knock politely at the door.
You knock on the door.
Yep.
There perhaps the answer may be here.
There.
Spell? Anything?
Answers from the door.
I suspect they don't want us coming in here, but I thought I'd knock to be polite.
There's no answer at the door.
Can I attempt to... Is there like a door handle or just...
Yeah, it's like a set of double doors, the ones where you like click and then push.
How fancy. I click and try to push.
And it opens. It
Do I
creaks
see
a
it?
bit as you open it, and it is fairly dark in there, the only light coming from your lantern. And we have a Sean!
Sean!
I told you I had an outfit plan, so that's what took the longest to get on.
It's fine.
Hello.
Hello.
I am here.
Hello.
There we go.
Is the room that you just entered still quiet?
No, it has the two torches on the far side that are lit.
I want to hold my lantern out as far as I can and like ask someone else, like, I could use someone else's eyes in here. Mine aren't that great. And he adjusts his glasses.
All of you will take a peek inside.
You peek your head inside, and you see that this appears to be a kind of study of sorts, a rather large one with bookshelves lining each wall and a desk at the far side, with the far wall being nothing but window.
Can I go over and organize a scene inside the room?
So you go into the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
You,
will follow cautiously behind.
you walk up to the desk, and as you are entering this room, you see what you're pretty sure was the cause of the sound, as a very large hourglass is sitting behind the door. It is very easily a 4 foot tall hourglass that is slowly having the sand strain.
What amount of sand strain can I have?
A fair amount.
I motion to Arsenic. Is this what you would had the magic on?
In my best estimation, that seems
Mo-
correct.
most likely, yes.
Most likely it is unnaturally large and incredibly weird.
Why enlarge a door?
It is pretty fancy, but that's a real good question. I'm more interested in who enlarged it.
At the desk, you see some papers resting atop of it. Just old notes. Um, what languages did you read again?
Me?
Yes.
Avicii, Celestial, Common, Elvish, Latin, and Latin.
Okay. Um, you can read this one. This one, because only one of the papers actually catches your eye as anything of interest, and it is in Celestial. While knowledge is the key, to release it is to set a secret free. And it is the only thing on that paper.
Is there anything behind Alex across the room?
It's not like all the way in the corner, like jammed up, but it's near a corner, and either side of the walls, like not the wall with the door or the window wall behind the desk, but either of the other ones are just floor to ceiling bookshelves.
In the meantime, Obi is going to be investigating all that and see if he can uh, basically like signs of of runic magic on it, or maybe like a mark or something to see
Mm.
if maybe this was remotely triggered.
All right, go ahead and roll investigation.
Liam will just like head over with Obi because he's mentioned not being able to see in the dark. Just brings the lantern. I don't trust these torches.
Well, there's none lit in this room.
Uh,
The only light is coming from the stars outside.
Ah, safety. 17.
You investigate throughout it, and it seems like there is a mark on it, and there's the faintest bit of an imprint on part of the mark, as if it had been resting a certain way to keep it from being complete. And then something made it fall from how it was resting, triggering the spell.
Oh, this is
Hello,
quite a
Hello,
feeling.
motherfucker. Thank you for that one.
For a minute, I thought somebody was saying that in my voice.
woof.
I would have been like, oh no. Uh, Obi will mention that. Does anyone practice with the arcane? It appears that this was a pre-designed spell, but it was set up so that it was not complete. I believe is the best term, and then something knocked it over, which allowed the spell to complete and triggered the creation of the large hourglass.
Liam like lifts his lantern, starts like looking up. Is there anything on the ceiling of this room?
Nothing on the ceiling per se, but you do notice an empty spot on one of the shelves higher up on the bookshelf.
By empty spot,
It's the only
of the
section
shelf.
where it's not filled with books.
I'll waddle over there, do a little peek in where the absent book is.
It's about like 15 feet up.
Oh, I look sadly up. Even my noodle neck can't get that high.
Did you
Hey
did you
man,
By the
could I
way,
use could I use the Grotty Grace thing to get up to the book?
absolutely.
So you see, my character's name I did not establish, but his name is Nimbus, and Nimbus hops up using the shoes that. Can you explain that a bit better than me?
So these are shoes that essentially um, trigger the air to turn solid underneath the sole of the shoe, allowing him to essentially jump and take steps into the air, equal to its movement speed. And
Very nice.
Sean, would you? Oh, sorry. Sean, would you care to describe your character as well, since you are in this mess?
Yeah, I apologize for being late. I had a party to go to, and people suck in traffic.
That's fair.
But I am playing Adir Moxley. He is a still very tall human, I would say, like 6'11". Very pale skin tone, silver eyes. Surprisingly, only 37 years old, oddly enough. And he pretty much was a criminal, but not in the way most people think a criminal would be in these times. And he got given a second chance, so he figured, might as well just redeem myself somewhere.
All right, so Darwin, what do you do upon reaching the area?
I have really bad short-term memory. I completely lost track. Why am I up there again?
Because there is an empty spot on the shelf that your guys' best guess is that it's where the hourglass fell from.
Could I make an investigation check in the area to see if there's anything else around it that would help me discern why it fell?
All right, go ahead.
Oh,
Nice.
8.
No, it it's no. There's nothing really up there. Not even dust.
Interesting. So I'll just head back down, join the group again, and there seems to be nothing really up there, not even dust, which is kind of interesting.
Is there dust anywhere else?
Oh, absolutely. This place is not very clean. This place has been empty for quite some time.
Is the lack of is the hourglass dusty?
A little bit on the edges.
Is that was the lack of dust in like the shape of it?
It was, I mean, he got an 8, so.
Can anyone else fly? I can't. I don't know what all you can do. What if you can walk on air? That's fascinating.
Atlas, do you have anything to say about the phrase that you found on the paper?
I'm curious if there's a door there that could maybe prevent a creature, or is there something specific about that door?
Your best guess is that each part of it is a metaphor. Um, Go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me.
11. Sorry.
Okay. Um, each of it is clearly a metaphor that alludes to something being in this room. Um, as far as what something that is, whether it's a door or a hidden chest or something like whatever else might need a key, you're not sure.
Are any doors in this laboratory?
Just the one that you came through that you can see.
Does Andromeda share with us what was found? out of character, two brain cells trying to fire. Can you repeat what that was?
I was gonna ask you to repeat it now that you mentioned that you have shade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it was in Celestial. And let me pull it back up. And while knowledge is the key, releasing it sets it free.
Is there something specific about the release that I have?
You weren't told much about the manor, so
Do we know if there was if it was owned by a specific person previously?
it was owned by um, a fairly well-off couple. But one day the woman disappeared, and then shortly after the man did too.
Obi's going to kind of finish looking around and shrug his shoulders and say, "It doesn't seem like they're here. Whatever knocked this over and commotion to the hourglass probably isn't here anymore if there was anyone close to this. So
Do we know anything else about the entrance?
he feels sorrow. In the entranceway, does it only lead to this room and the dining room?
Uh, well, you had to go through the dining room to get into that room. From the dining room, there is another door on the opposite side, presumably the kitchen. Um, and then in the entryway, there were also stairs that led upward, as well as another door off to the left hand side.
I'm going to. Obi's going to head over to the stairs,
Alright.
and
Sh-
he's going to mention to the group as he's walking. I'm going to take a look around. Anyone is welcome to follow me.
Sean, what was there anything your character would have been doing in the study before exiting?
Out of character, I have no idea what's going on. I was told nothing.
You guys are in the manor. You were told to clear it out of any creatures, traps, etc., to make it habitable for someone that's coming to move in. Um, Shortly after you were left, the torches went out. One of the one of your group was dead when the torches came back on, and you all have marks on your hand. There was a loud thud. You went to investigate it in the study. One of you found a riddle talking about knowledge being key and having to release the knowledge to set something free. And then uh, you figured out where the hourglass fell from that triggered the spell, but not what triggered it to fall.
Before, I know Liam wants to go with Obi because yeah, Obi can't see in the dark. Poor thing. Does it look like the bookshelf could be moved at all before we bounce?
There are some seams on the bookshelf where you
Who's
wouldn't
the
expect.
strongest looking person with us?
I mean, out of character, my strength score is pretty good.
And sorry, remind me, what's your character name?
A deer.
Then Liam's gonna look to Adir and be like, can you help me with this? I think this might move, or at least, you know, can't do any more harm by knocking it over, right? Uh, and I want to cast guidance on Adir, because boy, Liam cannot. If you saw my strength score,
Uh,
I guess I can help out.
Alright, go ahead and roll a strength check to try and move the bookshelf.
You
Okay.
can add a d4.
That's a
Um,
14, and then I add a d4.
Yeah.
what did it say? Obi will
So that's a
cause you to go
3,
away.
17.
Obi will probably what?
Oh, I would say Obi will pause in the doorway as you're doing this,
Okay.
and seeing that he is uh, attempting to move the bookshelf, will attempt to help.
Alright, go ahead and roll with advantage then, Sean. So do another roll and take the higher of the two.
Okay, do I still add the 3 from the d4, or do you want me to re-roll that?
No, you can keep the 3 from the d4.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually better. So
Yo.
that makes it a total of a 25?
Very nice. So you pull on the bookshelf, and with all the books that are on it, it is pretty heavy. You've also, as you're pulling, can feel as well as hear the bending of metal as it gets stuck on something. And the books kind of jostle around, except for a few in the middle.
It appears I'm stuck.
Uh, Liam, bring your light over. Let me see. Is there enough crack that I can look in behind the shelf?
You look behind, and you can see that there's definitely some kind of metal rod attached to the back of the bookshelf, going from that to somewhere you can't see within.
The
Does it
rod,
look
like,
like the metal rod can come off?
Wait, why did another d20 roll on my screen? I tried to type in the chat.
Weird.
I tried to type in the Twitch chat. And apparently I rolled another d20. I don't know why.
Just a flex check.
Just flexing. That's all it is.
um,
Nothing's broken. Yippee.
Yay.
is the metal bar like you know those doors that you slide something through the windows to install them? Is it like that, or
it, from what you can tell, from what little bit of a crack there is, it looks like there's some kind of lever system to lift it up from something on the other side of the bookshelf. Like it's sitting on something that if it went up would push the rod away.
Well, everyone's like peeking behind it, and all the books were like waggling around except a few. Liam's gonna go to the ones that didn't and
Okay.
like see what's up there. What do these books look like that didn't do a wiggle?
So, as you're inspecting these books more closely, you see that it's a set of 4 books of similar bindings but in different colors, and clearly meant to look like a series, but they are all glued together.
are they? How many are these? How wide is it?
It is like each book is like that thick, and there's 4 of them.
Do they look like they would lift together?
If you tried to move one, they would all go.
Could you pull it at all? Would that like do anything? Or would it never?
So you pull it, and you feel it start to move on the top, and you continue, and you hear the click of the rod on the other side being lifted up, and the clang of it falling away as a deer is able to pull the bookshelf easily now.
I don't know what you did, but it worked.
Hooray, teamwork!
We forgot that this is probably a mansion of secrets, and there's probably hidden rooms and passages.
Yeah, you were asked to get rid of traps and creatures, so.
I mean, it's just like people. We all got secrets and dark passages.
Is what's behind the bookshelf lit up at all? Like visible?
It seems like it is a dark passageway leading, like, as if it was designed to be a tunnelway in between the walls. Like, it is only about 3 feet wide and 7 feet tall. It is narrow. Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
May I help with that as I'm like squinting and lending help with the lantern to give you advantage?
Sure.
Yee.
You just get advantage, so you roll twice and take the higher one.
Ooh.
7.
That was the higher of the two?
Yep, it was either 7 or 5.
Oh gosh!
Oh goodness.
You're.
I haven't played D&D in this long, and these are the roles my group's getting.
Yep, this
This
is
is
this
a
is
winning.
we are the best team.
Well, you have to.
Great. Fun.
There are no human footprints that you're able to ascertain.
Well, are we, how's the hourglass looking? Is it still doing its sandy business?
Oh, it is definitely still draining.
Well, I don't like that. Are we here now, or did you want to check the stairs still?
Obi's just already down, halfway down the passageway at this
Oh
point.
my god, I can't see into this chair.
Obi's like,
It was your turn.
it'll be alright.
After.
So, by that count, it's just me and Andromeda still in the study?
I'll follow the people going down the passage.
Would you at least give me a warning? I'm human. I don't have dark vision.
Liam
Neither
does
do
not.
I.
Oh no!
We hear from
Oh,
further
no.
down the passage.
I loved it!
We have a lamp.
Oh wait, I have a torch and a tinderbox. Can I light a torch before I go down?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that then.
There's a reason I brought this subclass. Light cantrip.
I just see everyone go in there, and I'm like, great. I just light one of my torches.
And it's a tight fit for you. Like, this is only like a couple inches above your head. Like,
Is the ceiling like an actual ceiling, or is it like support?
it is mostly ceiling with occasional support beams going through it. Like, if the hallway is going this way, the support beams will occasionally run across that way.
Can we like continue going to
So you go through a ways in the passageway, and it seems fairly straightforward. While you do make turns, it doesn't split off anywhere. And after about 8 or so minutes of just straight walking through this mysterious passageway, you hear a faint sound. A growling, almost.
Sound like a cute animal friend?
Coming from ahead of us?
or beside us?
It seems to be echoing around you. It is bouncing off of the walls.
Obi will slow down and try to step forward.
Is it an animal that I can recognize?
You can roll a nature check.
May I also do my own nature check?
Yes.
Oh, here we go, bad. Oh, it's a 5, baby.
I got 18.
Okay, there we go. This does not sound like an animal.
So Obi's going to slow down, raise his hand, and then kind of go into a somewhat crouch and just kind of slowly step forward. Does he feel like he's within like 60 feet of wherever the source of the sound could be?
Possibly.
I'm gonna take a second and maybe expend another divine sense.
You spread the sense out. You reach out from within yourself. And at the very edge you feel the presence of a fiend.
Does it seem like a very big presence? Or
How detailed is divine sense? Like you just know its like vague location, right? I don't think you can tell size from it.
One second. I have the future names now.
Sounds like we're prepared.
yeah, woohoo.
It's session
Okay,
one, it's fine.
so technically
I kid, of course.
it lasts 6 seconds, a turn basically. But until the end of your next turn, you know the location of enemies that are blah 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 within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. I know the type of the fiend's presence, but not its identity.
Okay, so yeah, you know that it is a fiend. You do not know its size, and you do not know what fiend.
Flavor wise, what he's doing is he's connecting to the greater consciousness of the world, and it's basically directing him in a sense. It's giving him innate knowledge of, hey, there's this thing up here.
Blair, thank you for the host. So you all see him stop and begin to stealth, and then stop entirely in his tracks as he meditates once more, like he did in the dining hall.
Why are we stopping?
I don't know. Maybe he learned to see in the dark.
You come out
Quiet, both of you.
I found I have found our very good friend. He will point further down the hallway, 60 feet, perhaps a little further. I will
Well,
warn you now, they are fiends.
sounds like a joy to be around.
Yes, they drink of the dark side. Be careful. They will be into stuff for
Liam like
drawing
hides a
blood.
little more in his hood and will like, creep forward.
Alright, go ahead and give me stealth rolls if you're going stealthily.
Yo, let's get some disadvantage stealth rolls.
21 for me.
Nice.
Big ol' 8.
Oof.
18.
20 for me.
Okay, okay.
Thank you for balancing out.
Adir
Liam's
with your.
tail is just like whacking into everything.
I didn't roll yet.
dragging.
I didn't roll yet.
No, bro.
You know what the ironic thing is?
Hmm.
Adir's proficient in stealth, yet he has disadvantage because of his armor.
Oh no!
I'm sure it'll balance out. It'll be fine.
All right, there's the first roll, which was a natural 20. God damn it.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
19
Yo.
Okay, okay. um,
plus 7's a positive thing, y'all.
Yeah.
Every time
Okay.
like Liam's tail's about to whack into something, everybody else is just batting it away and like, no, stop.
yeah, whoever's walking behind Snaky Boy
That would be-
is gonna be dealing with the tail.
Well, I don't know. I think it was like I'm trying to still remember characters' names. I think Andromeda is ahead of me, so I think it might be Andromeda.
It sounds like something Andromeda would do.
What did I do?
You're the one having to silence the Snaky Boy's tail.
Sorry, are
Yeah,
you?
because
Hold it as I walk.
That works too.
yeah, because I'm all the way in the back because y'all left me
Yeah.
without saying anything.
That is true. I apologize.
No one tells the big man anything. Except, hey, run into room. Please be meat shield.
Sorry.
Yay.
Sorry, we thought you were following.
I had no idea what the plan is considering what the hell's going on.
The plan is to find all the bad things in this house and get rid of them.
Well, seems like we're doing an okay job at least. We already lost one.
So, Obi Loon, you're leading the group, correct?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm not stealthily enough this time.
You are successful in your stealth and being quiet. But there's something that you all were told to remove that you have not looked for.
20.
Very nice. You feel one of the stones underneath your feet give way and are able to roll forward just in time to avoid a hail of arrows that come down from the ceiling. Who is directly behind Obi-Loon?
Liam.
Yep.
You're gonna have
Yep.
to roll a dexterity saving throw as well.
Let me tell you about my deck. It's bad. That's a
No!
0.
No!
No.
Wait, what?
What?
I got a 0, baby.
Oh,
Hang
no.
on. There's one of their night.
All
This
right.
is a roll if I'm right.
All right.
Ow.
As you take, oh gosh, uh,
Here we go.
Uh-huh.
as you take 19 damage from the hail of arrows,
Ouchies.
Actually.
You see your Liam just squawking like, ah!
and I believe it was Darwin in the middle that gets to see this happen right in front of him.
There's arrows from the ceiling.
Oh, fun.
Does it look
After that,
like, as I'm like holding my poor arrow riddled shoulders, does it look like whatever trap we oopsed into has been expended, or is it ready to go?
Do you want to stay there and investigate?
Uh, did I have a clear idea of like from other arrows that are just around? How wide was this area we got booped in?
It looks like it was meant to just immediately get the person that was in that vicinity. Like, it is not much larger than a singular person. It is because Obi-Loon continued forward to avoid the trap and you were following that you got hit by it instead.
I will waddle ahead, but like very obviously point it out and be like, that's a bad. I don't like that.
After that happens, could I cast Cure Wounds on Liam?
Absolutely.
It's a D4. How do you pick the dice?
If you're on D&D Beyond, you
You can go
You
to
can
the
either click
spell
the
and
button-
cast it. Yeah, there should be
Yeah,
a a button on the spell.
yes.
Yeah. You see, I had to. Okay, so I didn't buy the books, so I had to like adjust a lot of things on here manually, and the spells I couldn't figure out, so I just have a sheet in front of me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then
So
on the
if
bottom.
you're on D&D Beyond, you click the bottom left. You can click the dice there,
Oh, thank you.
Dicey.
and then you can just add whatever you need to if you can't press the buttons normally.
So 3 plus the
Modifiers you have for it.
Oh God, I've never casted a spell before. I'm sorry.
Fine.
So
Do you have a spell modifier?
Yeah, I think it's intelligence, right?
Yes, it would be. What are you, wizard?
Plus,
I'm a arcane
if you're a
trickster.
Okay.
Yes, intelligence, yeah.
Intelligence and proficiency is what you have.
Oh, so it's plus 8.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So 11 total.
yo,
Nice.
Oh, sorry
that's
about
almost all of that. Like, oh, a fellow medic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Obi will look a little chastised as he kind of looks back to the after rolling forward and sees that Liam's full hold, and he'll be like, ah, right,
I
traps.
have.
Great.
Yeah. I'm
Doesn't seem
worried.
too bothered about it. He's just like checking his glasses.
I'm worried that those arrows might fall if you move forward. I have an idea, but I don't know how wide like it is.
It's not. It's only wide enough for one person.
Could I, theoretically speaking, I do have a shield. Could I just give Obi the shield and he can just use it as like a hat in case the arrows just rain down again?
Theoretically, sure.
So I think I'll do that just to be on the safe side. So before he goes forward, I'll just grab his shoulder and be like, "Wait a minute, I got an idea." Inventory. I'll unequip the shield and just say, "Just hold this over your head in case that trap's not empty. That should help you."
And this will.
I will attempt to keep an eye out for any traps that go on. Hopefully, we won't have any more problems.
I'm just waiting for Obi to cross, and I'll cross and get my shield back.
You're all able to get across this specific trap. Um,
Okay, can I have my shield back, Obi?
You mean Liam?
Liam.
Liam's the one with the holes. I don't. I don't actually use shields.
No, I meant Andromeda. That's what I meant. God damn it.
the one that
I
was in
think they
front
were.
of him.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Oh,
So that way, in
Can I
case
have?
there was more arrows, while the rest of you were walking past it, you could not get hit.
oh, I see.
So can I have my shield back?
Yes.
Thank you. And I re-equip my shield.
And that happened about 30 feet closer to where you saw the fiend. Do you continue forward?
Yes, but this time I'm going to go slower as I take the time to look for traps.
Okay, roll an investigation.
We have an arcane controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he not over here?
Over where?
Up here in front, looking for the traps that I'm supposed to be looking for. 18, by the way.
Because
Okay.
you're out of character, you are a reckless one.
I need no protection other than the mystical power that permeates all things.
Yes, don't let one of the meat shields of the group go forward.
18, by the way.
Okay. Um, as you get to the end of the hallway, you do find that there's a trap on the inside of whatever this door is. Use the term door loosely here. It is the thing that would allow you to exit upon moving it. You can't tell what it is from here. It is the back of something.
Obi will pause at the exit point and kind of put a finger up to his lips, making the leave of the shushing sound, and then he will point to Nimbus and like motion Nimbus forward.
I
Alright, I
mean,
walk.
it is. I mean, there's people in your way. This is like a single file narrow hallway that's only 7 feet tall. Like,
Isn't he tiny though? Because he's a gnome.
Pretty small.
so are you gonna use your thing to try and walk above everybody, or are you trying to wiggle your
3
way
feet tall.
under?
Here, can I try to wiggle my way underneath people? Like, oh, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. Very, very quietly, of course.
The advantage is
Oh
being small.
Remind me, how tall is Liam again?
He's just like 5 feet. He is medium sized, mechanically speaking.
Yeah. So you're able to squeak by Andromeda basically like barely above her hip. um, and then it's a little harder squeaking by Liam, especially with the awkwardness of his tail.
Right.
Just kind of flopping around, getting in the way at every wrong
You're like, oh,
time.
excuse me. Oh no, not that. Oh no.
In the meantime, Obi's like,
Eventually, you make your way up to Obi-Wan.
and then Obi just points out the trap he found.
What would you like me to do with this?
Undo it? Can you do that?
Is there like a lock? Is-
You look at what he points out, and from what you can see, there is a glass vial with something in it attached by some kind of metal mechanism, with something, with a sharp piece of metal right next to it. There is a spring-loaded mechanism that seems ready to trigger as well.
Like a switch or
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to activate the trap from here? It'll make a lot of noise.
I don't really like that activate.
Okay.
I mean, technically, Obi-Wan and now Darwin
As
are.
quietly as possible, Liam's gonna ask, like, whichever one of you brave souls is gonna go up to that really sus-looking vial. I can grant you some help against poison. I don't know if that's what it is, but I don't want anything to do with it. And,
Wait, out of character, does that vial look like it's like ready to fall on someone? Is it like how does it look like exactly?
From what you're able to ascertain, the vial has been secured in place. The only moving part of this is the sharp piece of metal that is pointing at the vial on a spring that is currently coiled back.
Okay.
it would like hit the vial.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I will cast Mage Hand and grab onto the arm part of it that would hit the glass vial and just keep the hand there, so it holds the rod as we pass by.
Okay. You can certainly do that. So who's gonna open the door while the mage hand's there?
I'm all the way in the back, so I can't.
I believe that would be Obi's.
If
Okay.
Obi's the closest one, I'm gonna go open the door. As you're like leaving Liam's range, he's gonna just boop you on the shoulder as you pass and cast protection of poison on you.
Thank you.
Your percentage.
It's not immunity, so I hope this isn't, catastrophic.
You go ahead and give me a strength check to push open this door.
Oh, wonderful. What does the mage hand do? Hold on. Question.
Answer.
Since I am telekinetic, could I use my shove ability on the door?
You can certainly try.
I need the door to make me a strength saving throw.
Out of character. How does door make saving throw exactly? That makes no sense. But welcome to D&D.
Technically, that's how the ability works. That's why I asked. You said I could try. I said, okay, I'm going to try.
So, instead of a strength score, it has a structural integrity score. It was an 18, and I rolled low. So you shove it forward, and some dust pillows out around as it does shake, and Remind me how much force a mage hand can withstand?
10 pounds, I believe.
Was it 10 or 5?
10. Yep, can't carry more than 10.
Okay. You, as you're concentrating on the mage hand spell, you feel an immense amount of pressure go against it just from the shove. It didn't trigger fully, but it started to trigger.
Right. He will kind of come. All he did was like raise his hand to the door. Looks like he was concentrating hard, and he'll kind of like lower his hand and be like, "Someone else need to try this." So he do this the old-fashioned way. He'll put his weapon up that he had drawn earlier, and he will attempt to physically shove the door open.
Okay, go ahead and roll a strength check.
That's a 16.
Alright. You shove the door and you hear the sound of stone grinding on stone as it moves only maybe that much. Like just an inch. It is heavy.
Again,
It's not a door exactly. Like it looks like the other stone walls, but it has the big seam around it, so you were able to tell that this was the exit. It is the back of something.
it does feel like when I shoved it, it did feel like this was the direction it was supposed to go. Correct?
Yes.
I'm going to attempt to push on it some more.
And is there what?
Is there like another possible spell?
Not really. Uh, Obi Loon and Darwin are fairly close already from him working his way up there, so it's already pretty cramped over there.
If there's any like
You can try. All right, you kind of squeeze your way up, and you're uncomfortably close. But the two of you are able to both kind of get a shoulder up against it and get enough solid footing that I will allow the strength check with advantage.
Alright, on three. One, two, heave.
I mean I got a 10.
I got a 19.
All right. You are able to shove the door open even more. It is dark and musty within this room. You can smell moss. You can smell old, damp books. And it is colder here.
I'm gonna heave.
Does it what?
Does it kind of feel like a grave?
Almost, but it is structured still. It is a room with the feeling of a cave. What were you doing?
Decide to. Toby will turn on Darwin and be like, "Do you see anything?"
Dark vision. Oh,
And it's blackness.
absolutely. You peer in through where, like, over their shoulders, as much as you can see. And you're still keeping the concentration up on the mage hand, right? Yes, there is more pressure than before. And it is not stopping with the door open. No, no one has gone inside. I mean, if he's explained the pressure to everyone, but I don't know that he has.
He has not.
Yes, it is at the very top. Like it's a 7 foot tall hallway, and it is at the very top of it. Is there any?
Oh, right. Sorry, hold on. And I will lift my hand up and I will use my hand to pull the vial off the table.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check with your mage hand.
Alright. Telekinesis, don't fail me now. 16?
All right. You pull on the vial strong enough to kind of, with the sound of scratching, metal scratching glass, you are able to pull it loose. It is hanging loose. It is not all the way out, but it is hanging loose away from the point, the metal point that has been trying to trigger.
Can I wiggle it out a little bit and get it out the rest of the way?
Okay, go ahead and do a dexterity check for me this time
Hey, I'm good at those.
to avoid
says as he
dropping
gets a
this on
one.
your face.
I'm not that good at those. 6. I'm not good at those.
Oh, it wasn't a one though. Lame.
So you attempt to do so, and just with you trying to be delicate and not crush the glass, you end up dropping it upon yourself.
Does it count as a missile?
How would it count as a missile?
It's attacking me.
Oh gosh, as cool as it would be to see you attempt to catch it, it's only some dice, it's fine.
I have reflexes. Let me have this.
I mean, do you want to try and dodge out of the way? You saw what happened last time, and there's someone standing directly next to you.
I'm not dodging. I'm using my catch missile ability.
It is not a missile. You cannot. You can.
I'm not about to make someone else take
Because the impact was duller, this damage is going to be halved versus if it had been pierced with the metal rod. So
What type of damage?
instead of 27 force damage as this explodes upon your shoulder, you take half of that. So 13.
That's kind of fitting, honestly.
Sounds about right. Alright, I will go ow, and then I will be like, I think we should probably move forward, and I will take a step inside the room,
You
kind of step off to the side a little bit, and while everyone's coming in, I'm going to take a minute to pick my hands and sort of put them together into a weird hand signal, weird gesture, and
Very nice. So as you all enter, those of you that can see it in the dark can see Obi-Loon doing this. Some of the damage and the bruising on his shoulder shrinking back down.
Something tells me that these traps were set a long time ago.
Perhaps something predator is in here. And
Hmm.
with that being
Well,
said, I'd like to try reach out again to the universe.
Okay, you use your divine sense once more. And you do your little breath and you begin to spread the presence out. And it doesn't even take that far before you can feel a fiend no more than 20 feet away from you.
I will point in the direction of the fiend, 20 feet that way. Do you see it?
And that is where we will finish for today. A mini session for the mini series just to start us off and get us a taste.
Okay, okay.
yay!
Because I know
Well,
some of you had time restraints.
I do actually. I can totally get that.
So, and how are you guys liking the mini series so far? We will start with the one who has to make an expeditious retreat, Obi-Loon, aka Disciple.
Oh, yeah. This is. I like it. It's a little slow getting started, but most investigations usually are slow. Considering if we're trying to figure out what we do and what we don't know, starting, we're trying to get all the clues we can to kind of, you know, figure things out. But I think I don't know. I feel like I'm having fun, and I'm enjoying the people that I'm working with, the colorful cast of characters we have.
Very nice. Next up, we will have Lady Andromeda, aka Atlas.
As my first D&D session ever. Great.
Glad you enjoyed your first session. There will be more excitement to come. This was a lot of investigating roles and avoiding, and you're in the understanding phase, but stuff is about to hit the fan. So, next up, we will have our other earliest member, Ren, aka the young little snake boy.
This little guy. I'm having a blast. Who knew my most useful spell would be light? I'm so glad. Like, I love when people bring characters who can't see in the dark. And I always wanted Liam's lantern to be like a big thing for him, even though he has dark vision. I'm having a blast. Everything is a-okay.
Out of character, your new nickname is Lantern Boy.
Yeah.
Yay!
Next up, we have Darwin.
Who's Darwin? New place to be fair, we have a couple people who have asked the right kind of questions.
Yep, you have definitely done some quick thinking on y'all's parts. Like there was a whole upstairs you guys could have gotten sidetracked by, but you found the room with the hidden room fairly quickly. So
And everyone just was like, adventure inside a hole.
yeah, just da 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 da. What can go wrong?
I apologize for Obi being so like kind of forward
Oh no,
forward going.
It's great. That's the kind of character I play when I'm over in Night's Falls game. You know, Elkson headstrong, just go, no plan, just go.
To be fair, he, he's made to basically be able to kind of be forward, even though he doesn't look like it, since he has no armor. But all of his abilities are very geared towards being able to mitigate or undo damage. I, I still have key points. I can heal myself some more. I still have lay on hands. I can. I didn't prepare accordingly, but I could have. So I would have had a lot of healing that I could have used.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least, we have Sean.
People who don't know, I haven't played D&D since my last session on Night's Fall stream, and it felt good to come back. And as y'all can tell, I was not only late because of traffic, but I legit had planned out my character's outfit finally.
I
Hooray!
love
So I'm gonna be stuck wearing this every time we do a mini session. Hooray!
Oh no!
it.
I like my coat.
It's a cool coat.
It is a very nice coat. I mean,
It's my Eisen
stylish.
coat, but whatever, it works.
I
Stylish.
recognized it.
Hush.
But alright, we will be going to the end credit scene and we will send forward a raid. We'll see who's on right now on a Monday. If anybody. If not, we'll find someone random. But
There's a lot of people.
That
thank
you
you.
follow.
Thank you everyone for watching and seeing this fun chaos, and we will keep you posted in the next session. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Like,
I'm going to turn this off. Raid the people.
I'm gonna
Can
be
mods do raid commands?
Maybe messed up the speedrun.
so
Did
curious.
you have
Like, I
someone in mind?
started. Yeah,
Okay.
cat.
Kitsune, let's go. Also, I didn't know this was Alex's first session.
Me neither.
You learn something new every day.
Every day.
As Damien was laying out stuff for us, I started making my own map.
Did you probably accidentally misspell it or forget an underscore? Because that happens.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Found it.
Wow.
Hooray. Onward.
Yeah.
Yay, raid's completed. And this is someone I've never followed before. Boop. I sniped this person and now I will go to bed.
Have a good sleep.
You too.
Yee, thank you so much for the game.
Yeah, thank you for the game,
Yeah, thank
Damien.
you for DMing. Thank you guys for being here.